Hello, is it audible? Is it audible now? Yes, fair. Initial disturbance was there. So, like, okay. Okay, let's start this lecture. This will be very precise and very comprehensive for this essay writing. When you write the essay for the civil services, what I found during my preparation journey is this paper is more about how good observer you are. Thing is, you cannot prepare for this topic, Yes, you listened it correctly. You cannot prepare for this topic. What you can do is you can develop some skills to write, to express your views, to express your ideas. You can try to connect the dots between whatever you are trying to convey. Right. So what I found during my this preparation journey is कि when I prepare for this essay paper especially, uh, book reading is must. I'm not saying for this essay special guide or something. No, some general books. Okay. So what you do from like by reading these books is uh, just starting 10 minutes dedicated for the words whatever I'm trying to convey. After that you will learn what I want to say here. Chale. So, as far as this essay preparation is concerned, what UPSC demands from you is this. And what is meant by this? Suppose you are preparing for this history, geography, polity, even your optional. What do you carry? You carry lot of information. Okay. On one hand you have that information, on other hand in the day to day life you you see lot of activities are being happened here, right? Either right or wrong, that doesn't matter. Activities are going on, right? Suppose that you are in your examination center, suppose that you are in Delhi metro or anywhere else, you observe some incident. What you have to do is you should try to write your observation. Please underline the word. You should try to write your own observations. Okay, what I meant by it, you should try to write down your own observations is that uh, suppose that in the Delhi metro, let's say for this time, acha, people are saying, just wait a minute, let me share the link with others too. Sorry, I didn't share the link with the people. Just wait a minute, please. Just 1 minute. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Hello. Hello, dear. Chale. Okay. So when I say कि try to write down your own observations, it simply means when you observe some incident, You try to write down, you actually try to figure out the ways or the knowledge or the information you learned through theory, through this your GS preparation. Let's say there is an incident in Delhi metro currently we are facing is that these wide videos and like some people are saying that those are not decent videos, or some people may have different opinions, uh, these couples and all. So what you people are supposed to have, whenever you encounter some incident, try to observe that incident through the eyes of your general studies preparation, right? Not only observe, but try to write down on paper. Okay. So what you will be thinking over this incident, what I told you here about the Delhi metro, you will be thinking this incident through an eye of governance or polity, through an eye of like general public, through an eye of कि what the, ध्यान से सुनेगा, the word I am using here, what the history India carries for love. ठीक है. So initial 2 points, many of the aspirants in the UPSC journey they think, but what the third point I said, usually we ignore. When you see this Ramayana, Mahabharat, Kalidas, even Kalidas is like love poet. So can you try to link those things with this incident? So imposing the ban or something like that, these incidents, is it like narrow mindedness? So when I say, when you try to write your observations, your process of thinking, or you can say your observation becomes very deep and very minute. And when I call it very minute, it means it is weighted, or you can say the valuable. Okay. Usually people don't do it. So just with an example, I tried to convey the message. I like, this is a short session. I would not like to waste your time. So just coming on word to word, very like comprehensively. When I say a good reader for this essay preparation, okay. Let's say I was fond of reading good books. Okay. You know, I hardly remember I finished any book. Yes, this that is why I called na untraditional way. Let's say I got one book, you can say, about this India's glory and its contradictions. Okay, you know what I observed out of that book? I observed how, okay, what I'm saying, book reading, right? How author started the chapter or story. Okay, so when I read this book, India's glory and its contradictions, I found that he has started the like introduction was from the green valleys of Manipur. Okay, a person who is like na highly qualified economist, and he is starting his talk with the green valleys of Manipur. What does it make sense? You know, and how beautifully he conveyed the message that what he is gonna write in this book. Okay, maybe that book is a very wonderful, like containing the very wonderful content for me. I can increase my knowledge base without with that book reading. But you know what I did, I just catch this point from that book, how to start anything, how to start expressing your views in an interesting manner, that I learned from this book, or by reading some other books also you can observe. So the number first point is how an author started his talk. This can be a book, this can be a debate, over the any TV channel or whatever the AI debates you listen, you should try to observe how a particular speaker or an orator puts his logics. You know, there are very good persons or good speakers in debates. They are so much concised, matlab they don't elaborate the things unnecessarily. So that is the trait, that is the attribute which you need to carry for this essay writing. Are you getting my point? Yes, good evening, Shibu. So when I talk about how to start, how to put your ideas, how to put your views, statements logically, right? So that can come from the book reading, that can come from the any debate or your day to day observations. Is that clear? What you have to do is whatever you are doing here and here, you have to maintain a small diary. Okay, just write keywords over this diary and revise it time to time. Okay, what will happen with this? Whenever you will observe some incident or some like any event, you will try to recall whatever you have learned through this process. Believe me, if you start reading these books for next 2 3 days, you will observe thousand of things, but after 2 months you will forget everything. Believe me, until unless you don't maintain a track record of your learnings. And usually people don't do it. They see, they think there is some strategy, there is some way to write a good essay. No, dear, there is not a perfect way to write a good essay. The what I learned through the multiple mains is whatever you observe, whatever you read, whatever you learn in your day to day life as an UPSC aspirant, how beautifully you express that, how you connect the dots between your logics, that gives you wonderful marks in this essay preparation. Is that clear to all? So, a persons who are going to write this CSE mains, they are not suggested to read all those extra books. What I suggest for them is at max you should go through some 3 to 4 good books. Like you can go for Sapiens, you can go for Homo Deus. Okay, you can go for some good book of the economics as well, because that gives you a different angle or different way to think. You can go through some like general novel, like you can say the Resh. It is a good novel, you can go through that. So what happens is just by investing 20 to 30 minutes in those readings, you become a different personality. You start thinking beyond your syllabus. You know what we do the mistake here? We are always thinking about the content. Ki content we don't carry, content I have to increase. Not at all. For this essay preparation, dear fellows, you have more than enough content. Believe me, you have more than enough content. Okay, no need to collect the extra information now. Sapiens you must read, that is a must read book. Okay, Homo Deus you can read. Okay, one book race you can. Okay, you can, I am saying. Strategies for New India report you can read. Okay, what you have to do while reading these books, देखिएगा. Number first thing is You have to be a good observer. Awesome files. What is your name? Awesome flicks, whatever. No. Okay, dear. What you have to do is when you read any particular book, okay, just try to observe how the author has started. Okay. Second point, how he has tried to put his ideas or how he has beautifully categorized different chapters of that book, so that when you skip from like when you move from one chapter to other, you feel the connectivity. No matter the chapter 1 was completely dedicated for historical background and chapter 2 was completely dedicated for technological background, but you feel the connectivity between that. So try to get the last 2 3 passages, how he is moving from chapter 1 to 2. Did you get the point? Second point, what you have to do is you try to learn the presentation. Number third way is presentation. So when you will see the presentation, you may have some diagram, block diagram or something like that. Okay. You may have some maps. Okay, how he some like sapiens, how they like they started moving from Africa to this mid Central Asia and to India and then Australia and all. So when you observe that pattern through a graph, okay, just a normal graph, your expression becomes very beautiful, you know. So number third, whenever you read a book or any article, try to observe the presentation. You know what we do actually? We don't observe the presentation, we just observe the information. Am I right or wrong? Information. Bhai Sahab, you have prepared for last 1 and 1.5 year, so you carry lot of information here. Now, not required extra information for this essay paper. Awesome flicks. Is that clear now? Shibu, everyone, please make it confirm. Is that clear now? Chaliye. So just with some like few examples, I'm trying to convey my way of thinking. What happens is I have attached a link in the description. You can download that PDF. In that PDF, I have attached my diary pages. Those contains Hindi, English, both mix up because I am a North Indian guy. So I am very much comfort in that Hindi medium. Okay. Okay, Pooja. Fair. Good. So also I have attached some of pages my test series essay writing. In that, how I started, how I expressed these ideas, you can go, but those are in Hindi. Okay. I had the Hindi medium for GS and this essay, but mathematics optional I wrote in like English because language was not a barrier for me. I was very much expressive in my Hindi medium, so I went with that. Point is how logically you learn the things, how logically you express. And the validation is I got 145, 147 in essays, so don't worry for that. Okay. Chaliye. Now I come on this. Be a good learner. What I say from this is when you observe any incident, when you observe any like how a debater, how a orator, he or she is putting his facts, when you observe the presentation out of books, how beautifully learn out of those. Okay? If you learned through the multiple practice, okay, please stay just for 1 minute here. When I talk about practicing, you know, people think practicing means daily writing 2 essays. Okay. What people say, daily writing 2 essays. No, not at all. Okay. Hardly, what I did is, after the prelims, I just got 3 tests for essays. Okay. Wrote those in UPSC manner. Means, but during the preparation, I was like very much expressive in nature. Ki okay, whenever I observe, I said na here, whenever you observe something, try to write down, try to figure out the ideas. And how you will improve through your ideas presentation? Through reading different books, through reading different articles, which we usually do in this UPSC preparation, right? So ये daily essay लिखना करके not required at all. What required is, you just practice कि okay, if any incident I observe, how I should start that. Okay. If any debate or any conversation is going on, how I will put my logics there. Okay. So this is the overall presentation, overall strategy for this essay preparation, through which I got wonderful results, wonderful marks. Okay. Now what you have to do? Let's take an example and let's learn how these things will work. Just next 5 minutes will do good. Okay. You can take the screenshot of this. This is just like brainstorming. Okay. Let's say you have, अभी देखिए ना, how these things, these traits will work. Anything which connects soul to God is the principle to stick or the courage to stick on your principle. This is a statement. Okay. Lincoln gave. Learn it now. What usually, actually, it's a babe cam. Sometimes it will, sometimes it okay. Chale. Suppose that this is a quote you got. Okay. Now, usually what you do is you try to remember quotes. Okay. But for me, hardly I did it. What I do, the very first point is observations. Okay. What are the observations? Anything which connects soul to God is the courage to stick on your principle. ठीक है? दिखेगा. Can I relate it with public services attitude? ठीक है? The next question which can come in my mind is, can I relate it the colonial era to Indian struggle, that is freedom struggle, right? The next question comes into my mind, can I relate it, God is one? Hmm? Ethics means n number of questions can come into your mind when you read this quote. Okay. You know what happens in the GS paper 4? They just ask you to write a mini essay, right? And here it is a full essay. What you have to do is, whenever you see some quote, try to decode that. You won't believe, I don't need any extra information other than my GS preparation for these things. Okay. So, whenever you see any topic or any essay, try to decode that according to, very simple. If you don't get anything, try to decode according to different GS papers. Okay. Means how you can see this quote in your history, or the society, or the social issues, or the governance, or the economics, or at the global level, WTO, right? How it can be related with the GS paper 4. So thing is, the very like simple idea is, you go through decoding any quote through the angle of all your GS papers. Fair? What rules I will suggest here: don't write subheadings. Okay, कोई जरूरत नहीं है. Like environment, social, or historical, blah blah. Please don't write, because when you write an essay, if you're writing in the subheadings, for me na, it becomes bit like, either I'm reading an article or I'm reading an essay. It becomes very tough to distinguish. Many people use this reports and indices. What I suggest is very less. Okay, please don't put extra these reports and indices in your essay, otherwise it looks like an article, not an essay. This is all like aligned with your GS papers na. Why you're putting here and again in essay? And if you are putting that here in essay, then what is the logic of putting this as a different paper? So you won't believe ki, okay, SDGs as a word I can use, but I will hardly use ki at SDG 10 this or that. Not at all. You know, the gender gap word I can use, but I will hardly use ki, okay, World Economic Forum this and this rank or that thing. Numbers hardly matters in your essay. Please learn these basics. For that I am that only I am here. Nothing, you know, like you have very wonderful teachers, so for that like you don't need me. I only say these nitty-gritty of GS papers, please don't put in extra in your essay, otherwise you will get average marks or below average. Are you getting my point? Is that clear to you all? I hope so. चलिए, अभी करना क्या होता है? अब let's take an example. You can take the screenshot, okay, and the PDF is attached in the description. You can download that. Chaliye, just 10 minutes more I will take. I'll finish the session after 10 minutes. Chale. You know, when I talk about uh, starting an essay, okay, you talk about introduction and all. What I suggest you is, keep your essay alive. Keep asking questions. ठीक है? Don't put conclusion in the intro. Please observe this word. This especially I would like to mention, because after puja, I suggest you don't put over emphasis over data points. Matlab, very less, I am saying. You know, suppose that you want to talk about the year 90, just example say I'm taking you. Suppose that you want to talk about the year 1907. Okay, the Congress is split and all. What I suggest you, don't write 1907, just write in the first decade of this 20th century. Okay, Pooja, did you get the point? Writing 1907, it may be a part of article, but writing the first decade of 20th century is something expressive. That is the need of this essay paper. You got the point? You talk about centuries, you talk about eras. That is the like good way to write an essay. Okay, let's come here. You know what, many abhi I am coming on your points, what you write. Okay, when I observed many copies, what I found, in the starting only, what aspirants do is they start the essay. Let's say they have any topic, that take the same topic. Let's take another topic. The destruction gives rise to new construction. Chaliye, let's say this is the theme of your essay. Okay, dear fellows, now I would like to tell you what mistakes you do in essay paper. Suppose that this is the theme. ठीक है? Many people start their essay by writing, okay, distraction से मतलब hardly they can go, अगर वो science background से हैं, they will start from the nuclear, right? Explosion, electron, proton, neutron. They can start from the Big Bang theory, right? Or some people from the humanities, they can start from the world wars. Yes, they can start. And that can be a wonderful idea too. Starting from the world wars. Okay, fair. Starting from the Big Bang, that is also a wonderful idea. But what the mistake you do here is, when you start from a wonderful idea, what I observe in the like final lines of the introduction, they started wonderfully, and people say, ध्यान से देखना, this is the only word which I want to convey here. People say in the introduction, so we can say that this is true. And here the negative starts. Arey bhai, if you are saying in the introduction itself, so we can conclude this, तो खत्म हो गया ना. अभी क्या बचा उसमें? Think over it. Let me connect the battery first. Just I'll take 5 minutes more and we'll finish the session. Sure. Acha, how many of you do this in the introduction? So we can say write this. Please don't do it. In spite of that, this is the wrong way. What can be the right way? अभी देखिएगा. Can't we say destruction gives new hopes? Question mark. Write the question mark in your essay. This is not a GS paper. GS papers mein question marks are not allowed. Like, that is not good way. In GS paper, be alive in your essay. Keep asking questions to your reader. He or she may feel like he is connected to the your essay, to your content. अभी आप सोचिए इसको. तो इंट्रोडक्शन में प्लीज अवॉइड दिस मिस्टेक. ऑल ऑफ यू आर सजेस्टेड. ठीक है बच्चे? The same thing I can write about the conclusion. I'll go after this body part. So this mistake, please avoid. The next point, what I want to convey for the essay is, when you are trying to decode the topic, you people can try to categorize it either through the ancient, medieval, modern, or anything, or social, environmental, but please don't write subheadings over that. ठीक है? What you should try, suppose that this is the topic. Okay, so being from the IIT background, what I would like to do here is starting from the scientific things. So let's say I start from the Big Bang theory. Okay, so when I start from the Big Bang theory, obviously explosion happened. This universe or the globe or the earth on which we are living, or the planets, they came into picture, means new construction begins by the explosion. Clear hai? When explosion happened, what you studied? Like this sapiens, right? How this like we as a human being came into picture. So you start with that theory. What you will come to, सबसे पहले you talk about fire, right? देखिए, मतलब initially there were not fire. When fire came into the picture, people started. So what fire gave us? Strength. ठीक है? When fire gave us strength, we started accumulating, we started living in some groups. ठीक है? So what you can say, conversation started. Conversation started, and it gives, what did this will give? Unity. Unity comes, you will go to discover some new ways. And this you can observe in our history, that how we moved from, let's say, this Africa, Central Asia, okay, India, Australia, and so on. You getting my point? I am not taking the name of ancient history or biology, but still I am writing the same. Right? Chale. Then what happens? Conversation happened. Abhi kya aaya? Agriculture. Right? Agriculture. What it did? It gave us something extra. Right? Initially, we had these all forest remains and all, but when we found out some ways to do the agriculture, we fulfilled our demand, as well as we got surplus as well. When you get the surplus, what will come into the picture? You will try to monetize that. When money will come into the picture, conflicts will come into the picture again. When conflicts will come into the picture, the destruction will happen again. So you cannot say that the destruction gives always the new construction only, but this is a circle, or this is a cycle: construction, destruction, and this is how this universe is going on. You know, without writing any heading, all the brainstorming is coming into my mind. Money हो गया, you have a society, obviously अब क्या होगा? You will have what? Values, right? Traditions. Traditions होगा, it will lead to new cultures. Cultures होगा, again blind faiths बढ़ेंगे. फिर cultures means God will come into the picture. Blind faiths होंगे, blind faiths होंगे, again it will lead to destruction, right? Law and order, again destruction. So the thing is, whenever you are trying to decode a topic without taking help of subheadings, you can write a wonderful essay. ठीक है? अभी आप देखिए इस टॉपिक में I have given you at least 10 dimensions to write. Now, अभी आप what you can do is, you should try जो body part है after the intro, when you do the brainstorming, ठीक है, यहां पर कनेक्टिविटी assured. ठीक है? What usually people do is they try to accumulate, or they try to integrate the content, and they don't try to think कि यार ये interconnect कैसे होगा, how passages will be interconnected. Okay, dear fellows, so what you people are suggested here, when you do the brainstorming, your mind should reflect from introduction to conclusion. Then only your essay will fetch good marks. Otherwise, no matter how beautiful content you have put on, you will not get going, you are not going to get good marks there. Am I clear to you here? Ki brainstorming means what? Ab you you will be surprised from where I got this idea. This I got from the Sapiens ka book. There is a back cover. Okay, back cover par he has given these 7 to 8 keywords, how humans evolved. And I put that idea, I just took that idea. Yes, Shibu Jaishwal, not lot of practice, not more practice. It needs continuous practice for short durations. Okay, Shibu. And that is why I started the lecture today by saying ki how to be a good observer and how to express your ideas with the pen and paper. If you keep doing it, definitely with days passing, you will you will have a good essay writing skill in you. And it does not require some 5 to 6 months. Okay, if you do this practice for next 20 days, definitely you will observe a change in you. Okay, Shivu, is that fair? And that is why I said na, you should read much, think more, talk less, right? Chale. So with this introduction, you have did the brainstorming like this, ki how your essay will flow. In the brainstorming part only, you concluded, like you figured out how your essay will be moving. Okay, chale. Conclusion. When I talk about conclusion, conclude your presentation, not something extra. Please highlight this word. This is very important while writing a essay. Many times I observe aspirants, what they commit a mistake is, matlab they are writing a good essay, okay, fair. It is going on, going on, going on. End of the essay, what they do is, in the conclusion, to write some wonderful ideas or way looking forward, some these habits na UPSC preparation, they write some like things which are not anywhere written in their essay, means which are not being reflected by them in the essay, and they write something very extraordinary in conclusion, and they think I have written a very good conclusion. But yeah, not at all, not at all. Your essay's conclusion will be fine only when you conclude the stuff whatever you presented from the line 1 to your line last. Don't repeat the statement. Don't repeat statement. So how to conclude beautifully? Be as simple as possible. Okay, ये ध्यान रखना मेरी बात को. Be as simple as possible. Whenever you are trying to conclude whatever you have written here, read your essay again. Please highlight this word. Whatever you have written, read your essay again and then conclude your ways. ठीक है? So this is my simple suggestion for you to write an essay. Clear है अभी? So I didn't give any rule here. What I did in this lecture is I just told you what are some ways to represent yourself. ठीक है? So how to start with an anecdotes? Okay, how to start with the historical angle, how to start the story from the Mauryan rule. I have developed those techniques through this practice. Okay, so writing the intro part of the essay, I have my own ways. Some of the ways I have said here. If you are interested in more, I can write, I can conclude all those things category wise, but believe me, that will hardly help you, because again that will be a factual content for you and you will just try to mug it up, and that will not be reflected in your essay. So when you write your essay, enough content you carry from your GS preparation. Be a good observer. When you decode the topic, don't be a narrow minded. Think the topic in the wide sense. When you do the brainstorming of the essay, ट्राई टू डू द ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग. पहले तो लिख लीजिए जस्ट रैंडम पॉइंट्स, ठीक है. नाउ ट्राई टू नोट डाउन की फर्स्ट पैसेज आई वुड लाइक ऑन दिस, थर्ड पैसेज ऑन दिस, फोर्थ पैसेज ऑन दिस, एंड लाइक दैट. Then start writing the essay in your copy. Otherwise you may feel the disaster ki on end of the half of the essay you will be struck ki okay, what to next, and your essay will be looking like broken pieces, and that will give you the below average marks. Is that clear to y'all? Shapko? Conclusion is nothing new. Conclusion is whatever you have presented, conclude that only. Is that fair? So these are some basic rules which I learned during this UPSC aspirants journey. Okay? So again, I will say try you should download that PDF, that link in the description. I have tried to figure out what you have to do for this. And in extra, if you want to know from my side, ki sir, how to write a good intro, so I can give you some 10 to 12 ways over which you can express your ideas. But again, I would like to tell you whatever I have said here, like in the GS paper 4. Many people liked that class, that lecture. And after that, I took the tutorial for that. Right. So that is a way for teaching, way to teach the things from my side. So today, what I suggest you, just try to get the idea whatever I tried to convey here. And after that, on the step 2, if you require some more session of 20 to 30 minutes, I can take, or just to save your time, I can share the PDF as well, क्योंकि उधर hours increase करने का मेरे को कोई शौक नहीं है. Just clear over my thoughts कि okay, PDF से अगर काम चल सकता है, that is okay, no issues. ठीक है? So I hope you will adopt these techniques in your essay. Again, I will say, after 10 days, we will have again a session on essay. This is just this introductory session and giving you idea how to work on, how to start. Now you start thinking, you start working over these ideas. After 10 days, we will have another session. You will improve or yourself, and we will talk. You can talk on my number as well, 9971030052. Okay. You can join the Telegram. Everything is in the description. Chaliye. Now, any question from your side? Anyone? Any doubt? Or if you want to suggest anything, you can suggest. Is that done? Chalo. Good luck. We'll meet for one more session after 7 to 8 days at max 10. Okay. Chale. Good luck.